Hello! So I am about to go to bed, but it reminded me to tell the story of what happened to me last night, and it was terrifying, and it was some people's worst fear, but I survived, and that's a very exciting thing. But it's kind of a funny story, so I thought that maybe it would be amusing to you, or maybe it would make you laugh. Maybe it's not going to be amusing, which, in case you are a brave, brave soul. So, I will begin. So, once upon a time, there lived a girl named Lane, me, and she lived in a house that was kind of old, not super old, but old enough to where it had a few like tiny cracks and that sort of thing. And she also happened to live behind or in front of a creek. She had a creek in her backyard. And I'm going to stop referring to myself as she because I don't know how to speak that way. It feels weird. But what had happened is that I went to sleep last night, and maybe I should preface this story a little bit. The past few weeks we've been having a problem with just little bugs. I think it's because it got so hot outside that maybe they're needing some cooler time inside. Anyway, so we had an exterminator come, and he was very nice, and he sprayed this stuff that it doesn't like repel bugs, it just makes them die a slow, painful death when they cross over the little boundary into our house, which, I mean, they're not supposed to be in our house, so I don't know. I hope you don't get too offended. Just try to look at this as the story and not necessarily like something to argue about. So, I was sleeping, and I woke up at about 5 o'clock in the morning, and I woke up coughing, so I've been having a little bit of a cold, and so I woke up coughing, and I went to the kitchen to get some cough syrup, and I'm standing in the kitchen, and I'm just drinking a little bit of cough syrup, you know, casual, and I get something to drink and come back to my room, and I'm thinking, okay, like I have a few Big Bang episodes recorded, I will watch one of them as I fall back to sleep. So I got my cough syrup. Well, I drink my cough syrup. Then I have my drink in my hand, and I am walking back to my room, intending on grabbing my zapper, my remote control, turning on my TV, and watching The Big Bang Theory. So, I turn my light on. Oh, I hope that I'm not like being so dramatic about this, but even if I am, whatever. I turn my light on, and I see this like dark thing, and so I start walking towards this dark thing, and you may think that it was on the floor, or on the walls, or on the ceiling, but it wasn't. It was on my bed, and it was the biggest cockroach that I have ever seen in my entire life, and he was laying there on his back with his little hands just going in the air, his legs, his little furry legs. He was like under my first pillow, like the one on the bed, but his little body was just peeking out, and I have no idea how long he had been there, and I just got completely freaked out. I took my sheets off immediately, went and put them in the wash. I went and took a shower. Like, it was just no good. It was sad. I was so sad, and so grossed out. Like, I don't know if you've ever like touched something nasty or like stepped in dog poop or something, and you just want to literally like cut that limb off. And I felt that way about my entire body, and I was like, oh my gosh, did he lay eggs in my hair? And I got so freaked out. And I realized, like, yeah, it's just a roach, but you have to understand, I mean, this roach was literally, he was like this size. He was the size of my entire mouth. He could have crawled inside of my mouth. Thank God he didn't. But it was still gross, and it was also kind of funny It's funny now. It wasn't funny then. It was scary and unreal because I think there's like a Brady Bunch episode where it may be Peter and he is sleeping in bed and a spider starts crawling up him and it gets like to his shoulder and he can feel it and he's like, oh, get off, get off. And then he wakes up and realizes it's a spider and it's after him. And now I completely have the heebie-jeebies. I am fully thinking that I'm going to get into bed tonight and another roach is going to come for me. I pray that that does not happen, and hopefully that does not happen to any of you either. I hope that none of you have to sleep with any roaches. I hope you don't see any roaches, and I hope that you are having a lovely bug-free life. Yay! Yay, bug-free! What does a bug look like?